Welcome to this Irwin Ministries video. In this study, we're going to take a few moments and look at the topic of balance. Join us now, and God bless you. All right, so thanks for tuning in and taking a look at this little video. I want to talk to you a little bit here tonight about balance and having balance in our lives and how important that is within our relationships with family, within our relationships in our faith, and relationships within our vocation and our career. So balance is extremely important. And if you get things out of balance in your life, well, it can cause a lot of trouble and it can be a big stressor in our life. And things out of balance in our lives can bring about problems in our health or problems in our relationships, problems in just so many areas of our lives that become so important and that are terrible ramifications of when we lose balance. So this diagram here that you're looking at on the screen is a perfect illustration of what I'm talking about. We have our family, our faith, and our vocation. And notice here right off the bat, the arrows, all three pointing towards the center of the circle here, and that's God. And of course, as you see here, we have those three aspects of our life: family, faith, and vocation. And it's like a wheel. And as that wheel goes around, we need to find balance. Because you know that when you're driving down the road and you have a balance issue with a tire, that tire is out of balance and something's wobbling and something's messed up, or you have something in the tire, if you have a puncture in the tire and the tire's going down, it gets out of balance. If you have an overinflated tire, it goes out of balance. If you've got a flat spot on your tire, it gets out of balance. So we need to have balance in our lives. Every aspect of our lives needs to be balanced. There's so much pressure and there's so much stress and there's so much going on and there's so many moving parts in our lives that when we have things out of balance, we very quickly notice it. And we get it in such things as our areas of our health and areas in our faith and areas in our family and areas in our vocation where we can't work well, where we can't interact with our family, where we don't respond like we should within a church service, for example. So it's good to find balance, and that balance in our life makes all the difference. And so another way that we can think of balance in our lives is look at this diagram that we have here on the screen, where it shows a three-legged stool, and God is at the top of the stool. And then you have each of the legs descending from the stool to the ground. And at the bottom of it, we have a family, faith, and vocation, each one of the legs representing that aspect of our lives that we need to find balance. And you could cut one of these legs off, you could saw it off, you could break it off, and for a little while maybe you could balance, you could back and forth, and you could make it. But after a while, you're going to lose your balance. You're not going to be able to sit on that stool comfortably for very much longer until you fix the broken leg. And that is true of life as well. For a little while, we can have problems in our family and we can figure it out and we can balance and we can make it. We can have problems in our faith and our beliefs and our systems of belief that we have. And for a little while, you can get along. You can limp along. And we can have problems with our job. Maybe you lose a job or you're working too many hours or something like that. And so for a while, you can deal with that. But eventually, that imbalance in your life is going to create a lot of pressure on the other aspects of our life. And so when we refocus our attention and we get that balance, it inevitably creates a streamlined approach and a direct approach to God's throne and God's mercy seat. Of course, it is God that gives us the mercy, that gives us the grace, that gives us the peace and the blessing to be able to balance these things in our lives, to have a balanced family, to have a balanced faith, and to have a balanced vocation. So we see here, with a life of balance, we have to have some responsibility. We have to claim some accountability. Let's look at some scriptures together here and see if we can get some understanding of how balance and why balance is so important in our lives and in our relationships. Proverbs 11:1 says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." And listen to Philippians 4:8. "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, and whatsoever things are pure, and whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things." And don't these different items here listed in this scripture just scream balance and bringing a balance to our lives? Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me." And so we can find balance. It's my prayer today that as we study this together, as we look at having a balance, that we acknowledge that we need balance, that we found places in our lives where we can realign ourselves with the purpose and with the designs and the desires of our Creator. Finally, Ephesians 5:15 says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." And this means and is telling us to make sure that we are considering the circumstances, that we are considering the consequences, and understanding that being in a place where we have balance in our lives is just so important to us. I sure hope that this little study tonight and a few moments that we've spent together has been beneficial and useful to you. I'd love it if you'd leave a comment down below, that if you would like it and share it, and just follow us on all the social media platforms that we've got going on. God bless you tonight, and thank you so much.